Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Achievers. Today the topic is about the Indian Armed Forces and Indian Intelligence Agencies. These are the most important topics and we should know this. So I've divided the entire content into four topics. Firstly, we will see Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Home Affairs. Then we will see Indian Armed Forces. Under the Indian Armed Forces, there will be three categories. First is the Indian Army, second is the Indian Navy, and the third is the Indian Air Force. Then we will see paramilitary forces or Central Armed Police Forces. Under this, we will see Assam Rifles, Border Security Force, Central Industrial Security Force, Central Reserve Police Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, National Security Guard, and lastly Sashastra Seema Bal. Then we will see Indian Intelligence Agencies. Under this we will see Intelligence Bureau, Research and Analysis Wing, in short it's RAW, National Investigation Agency, Central Bureau of Investigation, and Crime Investigation Department. Before starting with my content, let me first quote one line by a soldier. If I die in a war zone, box me up and send me home, put my medals on my chest, tell my mom I did my best. So starting with my first content of the today's topic is regarding the Ministry of Defense. So as we all know, we have different ministries or departments of the government like Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Ayush, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Labor and Employment, Ministry of Law and Justice, etc. These are the ministries that work under government. A single ministry has multiple departments under it, but I will be discussing only about the two ministries, which are Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Home Affairs, because Indian Armed Forces are under the Ministry of Defense and Central Armed Police Forces are under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So starting with this, Ministry of Defense is charged with coordinating and supervising all agencies and functions of the government related directly to national security and the Indian Armed Forces. The principal task of the Defense Ministry is to obtain policy directions of the government on all defense and security related matters and communicate them for implementation to the service headquarters, inter-services organizations, production establishments, and research and development organizations. It is also required to ensure effective implementation of the government's policy directions and the execution of approved programs within the allocated resources. In short, Ministry of Defense provides policy framework and resources to the armed forces to discharge their responsibility in the context of the defense of the country. The Indian Armed Forces, including Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and Indian Navy, and also Indian Coast Guard under the Ministry of Defense, are primarily responsible for ensuring the territorial integrity of the nation. So the next topic is regarding the departments. So the Ministry of Defense comprises of 5 departments, which are as under: number 1, Department of Defense; number 2, Department of Military Affairs; number 3, Department of Defense Production; number 4, Department of Defense Research and Development; and number 5, Department of Ex-Servicemen Welfare. So the next topic is regarding the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is a very important ministry. The Ministry of Home Affairs, MHA, or Home Ministry, is a ministry of the Government of India. As the Interior Ministry of India, it is mainly responsible for the maintenance of internal security and domestic policy. The Ministry of Home Affairs discharges multifarious responsibilities, the important among them being internal security, border management, center-state relations, administration of union territories, management of Central Armed Police Forces, which is CAPF, disaster management, etc. The Ministry of Home Affairs continuously monitors the internal security situations, issues appropriate advisories, shares intelligence inputs, extends manpower and financial support, guidance and expertise to the state governments for maintenance of security, peace and harmony without encroaching upon the constitutional rights of the states. The Home Ministry is headed by Union Minister of Home Affairs Mr. Amit Shah. The next topic is regarding the departments. So the Ministry of Home Affairs comprises of 6 departments which are as under number 1 Department of Border Management, number 2 Department of Internal Security, number 3 Department of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh Affairs, number 4 Department of Home, number 5 Department of Official Language, number 6 Department of States. So starting with the most important and main topic which is Indian Armed Forces. So the Indian Armed Forces are the military forces of India. The defense services in India consist of 3 uniformed services which are the Indian Army, the Indian Navy, the Indian Air Force. The Indian Armed Forces are supported by the Indian Coast Guard, paramilitary forces and various other organizations. The Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces is the President of India. All 3 services report to the Ministry of Defence of the Government of India. Now we'll see each and every Indian Armed Forces, starting with the Indian Army. It is considered as the second largest active army in the world. The mission of the Indian Army is to guarantee the national security and defend the sovereignty, territorial integrity and harmony of India from external aggression and intimidation. It also includes providing humanitarian support and aid to the common people during natural disasters and unexpected time. Indian Army. When we utter these 2 words, our heads get down with respect and gratitude to their sacrifice. From the icy terrain of Himalaya to the scorching heat of desert, they guard us as their family all day and night without complaining. So I would like to quote one line by the Captain Vikram Batra as either I will come back after hosting the tricolor or I will come back wrapped in it, but I will be back for sure. Also, there is one line by the Indian Army only best of the friends and worst of the enemies visit us. The next Indian armed force is the Indian Navy. The Indian Navy secures India's maritime borders and interests. It also safeguards Indian trading vessels by combating piracy on the high seas. Along with this, it provides assistance to the common people during disasters. The next Indian Armed Force is the Indian Air Force. It is considered as the fourth largest air force in the world. It has been involved in 4 wars with Pakistan and the People's Republic of China. The primary responsibility of the Indian Air Force is to secure the Indian airspace and to conduct aerial warfare during a conflict. Apart from the wars of independent India and humanitarian work, it has participated in many United Nations peacekeeping missions. Next, Indian Coast Guard. The Indian Coast Guard was established on 18 August 1978 as a sovereign armed force of the country. It protects the country's maritime interests and maritime law enforcement with jurisdiction over both territorial and international waters. This includes both contagious zone and exclusive economic zone. It works in close cooperation with the Indian Navy, Department of Revenue, Customs, Department of Fisheries and the central and state police forces. So I want to conclude with the saying of the Bhagavad Gita. I am a warrior, defending my nation is my dharma. I will train my mind, body, and spirit to fight, excel in all devices and weapons of war, present and future. Always protect the weak, be truthful and forthright, be human, cultured, and compassionate, fight and embrace the consequences willingly. God give me strength that I ask nothing of you. So the third most important topic is regarding the paramilitary forces or the Central Armed Police Forces. The term paramilitary force in India has not been defined in any acts or by authorities. Following 7 forces which come under Ministry of Home Affairs considered paramilitary forces but from March 2011 have been reclassified as Central Armed Police Forces to avoid confusion. So the 7 forces are as under. First is the Assam Rifles. Second is the Border Security Force. Third is the Central Industrial Security Force. Fourth is the Central Reserve Police Force. Fifth is the Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Sixth is the National Security Guard. Seventh is the Sashastra Seema Bal. Starting with the Assam Rifles. The Assam Rifles was established in 1835. It is the oldest of all paramilitary forces. This force plays a crucial role in northeast India handling counterinsurgency and border security operations. It currently reports to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Next is the Border Security Force, in short BSF. It is one of the seven central armed police forces of India and was raised in the wake of 1965 war for ensuring the security of the borders of India and for matters connected therewith. So the Border Security Force BSF is the border guarding force of India. Established on December 1, 1965, it is a paramilitary force charged with guarding India's land border during peacetime and preventing transnational crime. BSF came into being in the wake of the 1965 Indo-Pakistan War to ensure the security of the borders of India. The BSF are the border guards of the country and are called the first wall of defense of Indian territories. It is one of many law enforcement agencies of India. It currently stands as the world's largest border guarding force. Next is the Central Industrial Security Force, in short CISF. So the Central Industrial Security Force was established in 1969. It provides integrated security cover to the public sector undertakings, airports and special economic zones on a case-to-case basis. Next is the Central Reserve Police Force, in short CRPF. The CRPF looks after the internal security of every part of India. The primary mission of the Central Reserve Police Force is counter-insurgency operations. It also assists the state and union territories in police operations to maintain law and order. Apart from this, the force participates as a police force in the UN peacekeeping missions. The CRPF guarded the India-Pakistan borders until 1965, after which the BSF was created. In 2001 Parliament attack too. It was the CRPF troops that killed the 5 terrorists who entered the premises. Next is the Indo-Tibetan Border Police (ITBP). So the ITBP was established after the 1962 Indo-China War under the CRPF Act. It vigils the northern borders, detects and prevents every border violations and helps the local feel secure. The force also keeps a check on illegal immigration and trans-border smugglings. Next is the National Security Guard (NSG). So the formation of NSG was a consequence of the assassination of Indira Gandhi and Operation Blue Star. It was raised to combat terrorist activities and to guarantee the states do not experience any internal disturbances. This special force also come under the Ministry of Home Affairs. They played a crucial role in countering the 26/11 Mumbai terrorist attacks. Last is the Sashastra Seema Bal. It is established in 1963. They guard Indo-Nepal and Indo-Bhutan borders. They are also deployed during elections as polling booth security. Previously it was known as the Special Service Bureau, and they are deployed to control anti-national activities and inculcate feelings of national belonging in the border population, among others. It also acts against smuggling and other illegal activities. So the last topic is regarding the India's intelligence and investigation agencies. So intelligence agency is a government agency responsible for the collection, analysis and exploitation of information in support of law enforcement, national security, military and foreign policy objectives. As we know that every country of the world has some secret agencies, like USA has Central Intelligence Agency, in short CIA. Pakistan has Inter-Services Intelligence, in short ISI, and Israel has Mossad. In India, prominent intelligence agencies are IB, RAW, NIA, and CBI. Likewise, external intelligence wing like Research and Analysis Wing RAW and internal intelligence wing named Intelligence Bureau IB relatively. Recently formed National Investigation Agency NIA, which was formed after Mumbai 26/11 attack for counter-terrorism purpose. India has number of intelligence agencies, but I have mentioned some of the intelligence agencies, starting with the Intelligence Bureau (IB). It is the internal intelligence. Next is the RAW, which is the external intelligence, and it is similar to the CIA of the US. Next is the Defense Intelligence Agency. Next is the Joint Cipher Bureau. Next is the Directorate of Air Intelligence. Next is the Directorate of Navy Intelligence. Next is the Directorate of Income Tax. Next is the Directorate General of Income Tax Investigation. Next is the National Investigation Agency. It is the central agency to combat the terrorism. Next is the Central Bureau of Investigation. It is similar to the FBI of US. Next is the Directorate of Enforcement. Next is the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, and lastly it is the Narcotics Control Bureau. Starting with the first intelligence agency, which is Intelligence Bureau. So Intelligence Bureau was founded on December 23, 1887 as the Central Special Branch by the Secretary of State for India in London. It is renamed as Intelligence Bureau in 1920. RAW, on the other hand, was founded in the 1968 for external secret operations of the country. Why I have mentioned the RAW in this IB? Because before RAW, IB was taking care of both internal and external intelligence. But after failure of Intelligence Bureau in Sino-India War of 1962 and Indo-Pak War of 1965, RAW was formed as an external intelligence agency. Coming back to IB, so IB is India's internal intelligence agency and reputedly the world's oldest intelligence agency. It was bifurcated in 1968 and entrusted with the task of internal intelligence only. The external intelligence branch was handed to the newly created RAW. Starting with the next intelligence agency, which is Research and Analysis Wing RAW. So until 1968, the Intelligence Bureau, which is responsible for India's internal intelligence, also handled external intelligence. But after India's miserable performance in the 1962 border war with China and Indo-Pakistani War of 1965, the need for a separate external intelligence agency was clear. India's Research and Analysis Wing RAW is the country's premier intelligence agency, established to satisfy the need for increased intelligence that was identified during the 1962 Sino-Indian Border War and during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965. RAW was created in 1968 to handle India's external intelligence affairs. Next intelligence agency is the National Investigation Agency, in short NIA. The agency is empowered to deal with terror-related crimes across states without special permission from the states. The agency came into existence with the enactment of the National Investigation Agency Act 2008 by the Parliament of India on 31st December 2008, which was passed after the deadly 26/11 terror attack in Mumbai. The National Investigation Agency Amendment Bill 2019 was introduced in Lok Sabha by the Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Amit Shah, on July 8, 2019. The bill amends the National Investigation Agency NIA Act 2008. The Act provides for a national level agency to investigate and prosecute offences listed in a scheduled offences. So the next intelligence agency is the Central Bureau of Investigation. So Central Bureau of Investigation is established in 1941 as a special police establishment. The Central Bureau of Investigation is the premier investigating agency of India. It is an agency of the central government of India which investigates the crime or offence committed across the nation. The CBI doesn't take up investigation of conventional crimes like murder, theft, robbery, etc. unless directed by the Supreme Court, High Court, or referred by state governments. It functions as a national investigating and security organization as well as an intelligence agency and acts as India's liaison to Interpol. The agency has been known to investigate several economic crimes, special crimes, cases of corruption, and other high-profile cases like 2G scam, coal scam, etc. So, CBI can investigate the cases anywhere in India, and the CBI headquarters are located in New Delhi. Also, DK Ravi's death case was transferred from CID to CBI. So the last intelligence agency is the Crime Investigation Department, in short CID. So, Crime Investigation Department is abbreviated as CID, is an investigation and intelligence department of state police in India. It is a detection and the investigation department which requires a high level of investigation in the cases of murder, assault, riots, etc. On the recommendation of the Police Commission, CID was established by the British government in 1902 to maintain law and order in the country. These officers are known as detectives or CID officers. So there is a difference between CID and CBI. CID or Crime Investigation Department is a department of Indian State Police that investigates the crime or offense committed within the state, but CBI or Central Bureau of Investigation is an agency of the central government of India which investigates the crime or offense committed across the nation. So I want to conclude with these lines. The role of intelligence agencies has changed dramatically. Intelligence agencies are not mere data collection and analysis units anymore. They are full-fledged covert armies called upon to take action when no one else can. So the success of intelligence agencies in protecting the nation is never reported in the media for obvious reasons. It is only their defeats, mistakes, and controversies that are reported. Thank you so much. That's all regarding my entire lecture on the Indian Armed Forces and Indian intelligence agencies.